GEEK Files, 2026, March 20th, spring equinox, still in Burnaby. So, spring, summer, fall, 88, White Horsehair maintenance. Caribous. We're going to sort of get a bit of time sequence here because I want to talk about Bob Ambrose and the caribous. I don't know if I have all of the facts exactly right, but I believe we've got everything correct in big brushstrokes. So, like, don't come unglued if this isn't right, isn't pin perfect. From what I understand, Max Ward of Ward Air bought 3 caribous, VYY, VYX, and VYZ. He apparently outfitted them as at least one of them as his corporate aircraft. It was supposed to be quite nice inside. He flew them around. So by 87, 88, they had been sold off. VYY was in Gimli, Manitoba, and someone was trying to put PT6s on it instead of the R2000s. By 88, VYX had crashed, which started this whole thing, and VYZ was still motoring around. Now, the guy that bitched to Pennicott, Steve Pennicott, about the condition of VYX was Bob Ambrose. Now, Bob Ambrose owned VYZ for a while, and there was some sort of stock trade, aircraft trade with the Plata Silver mine because he was flying the Galena out. And somehow in that he lost possession of VYZ. Then I think it went to Air North for a while. And then Ambrose got it back by the summer of 88. So it was stumping around Whitehorse. The mechanic on it, Terry, was endorsed. Now, at that point, to sign the aircraft, the caribou out, because it was over 12,500 pounds of gross takeoff, you had to be endorsed. And there just wasn't that many of us. Maybe in all of Canada, I knew of the guy that I replaced it, Boric, me, Terry, and maybe a couple of others. So the VYZ was in Watson Lake working on something, but Terry needed to come back to Whitehorse for something. Doesn't matter what it was. But, it was a caribou, so he was in the middle of an engine change. So which is neither sort of here nor there, it's just what you did. We carried on VOX, we carried a spare engine. Now, at that time, NORAD wanted to automate the DEW-line sites, get the people out of the Defense Early Warning Radar sites up north. And it was being run by the US mainly because, they got deep pockets. And I don't remember, it was flying equipment out, I think. And so a lot of this stuff is payment in kind. So what they said to Canada is, okay, your contribution is to fly stuff from Brevoort Island off of Baffin Island to Frobisher Bay. We'll put it in a Herc, fly it to Goose Bay, and then you guys fly it from Goose. Canada flies it from Goose to Cartwright. And the US, in their infinite wisdom, decided the only airplane in the whole world that was capable of performing this operation was the Caribou. And the only operational Caribou in Canada belonged to Bob Ambrose. And the only mechanic, endorsed mechanic available to do this in all of Canada was me. Comes around, goes around. So this was September, late September, I think, or mid-September. I've been talking to Chris because things get slow in aviation in Whitehorse in the winter. And I said, look, can I just take some time off and go do this, because it's going to be a lot of money for me, because I can do a daily rate. And Chris said, yeah, okay, because you're going to get laid off shortly anyway, so go do this. So there it is. I get to name my rate, which I don't think I was really obnoxious about it, but it was a rate, a daily plus expenses, to take this air, to drive down to Watson Lake, get the air with Terry's truck, so Terry could drive back and do whatever he needed, and take the Caribou across Canada to Frobisher Bay on Baffin Island, fly 2 or 3 trips to Brevard Island, then head down to Goose Bay and fly these 2 or 3 trips into Cartwright. And we're going to leave it there, because it just becomes a Caribou epic again. Yeah. I did the 2 pilots. Blaine Minnow was one of the pilots on the Boo, and the other guy was Donnie, and I don't remember Donnie's name, but man, we'll get to Donnie. Blaine Minnow, yeah, Little Fish, that was his nickname, and Donnie. Man, I wish I remembered Donnie's last name. Anyway, making appropriate life decisions. You don't make any money, or rarely do you make any money, but you get good stories.